Welcome back. Today, one builder transforms a rugged jungle ravine into an integrated homestead, relying entirely on hand tools and the materials scattered around him. The first phase demands heavy physical clearance. He shapes a raw overhang to establish a level footprint, essential for bearing the immense weight of the coming structure. Boulders levered from the slope find new purpose as a solid stone foundation wall. Bedding these irregular stones in wet mud creates a stable, friction-locked base that resists the constant dampness of the adjacent stream. The foundation now supports a robust wooden frame, ready for the roof base assembly. Thick support logs are positioned to span the width of the shelter. These primary rafters will carry the entire load of the upper canopy. Across them, he lays down a staggered decking of raw wooden planks. Trimming them in place ensures a flush fit at the eaves. This layer acts as the solid ceiling, providing a flat structural deck that will soon bear the weight of heavy thatching. Inside, fire safety dictates a specialized build against the natural rock wall. A combination of wet clay and loose stone forms the base of an open hearth. The curved geometry of the firebox's heat reflects heat outward into the living space, while a vertical flue channels smoke safely up and away from the timber roof. A wooden rain cap at the apex prevents downpours from washing out the raw mud interior. The hearth breathes. With the exterior shell protected by a thick thatched roof, focus shifts to the interior floor. Suspending heavy timber planks over the stone base creates a crucial air gap. This thermal break prevents the cold, damp ground from wicking away ambient heat at night. Closing in the walls requires milling raw timber into flat, usable planks. Using a simple hand plane, the builder smooths out the rough-sawn faces to ensure a tighter overlap. The horizontal cladding is secured to the upper framing, creating a solid windbreak against the shifting valley drafts. Pre-drilling the attachment points prevents the dry wood from splitting under the pressure of the wooden dowels. The entrance demands a custom fit. He planes a massive, solid slab of wood down to a gentle curve, mimicking the natural flow of the surrounding architecture. A natural branch acts as a heavy-duty handle. Securing it with tight-fitting bamboo pegs relies on wood expansion. As ambient humidity rises, the pegs swell, locking the handle permanently in place, without a single metal fastener. Out in the broader landscape, the steep, muddy banks threaten to wash into the stream during heavy rains. A tiered retaining wall provides the necessary erosion control. By driving thick bamboo stakes deep into the subsoil, the builder creates a rigid framework. Horizontal poles hold back the earth, while tightly packed mud behind each tier anchors the entire system into the hillside. This terracing transforms an unstable slope into a permanent, level foundation for future gardens. To completely blend a new structure into the forest, the builder constructs a living roof. A waterproof barrier protects the underlying timber from constant moisture. Over this, a grid of split bamboo holds a thick layer of dark, organic soil in place, preventing it from sliding off the pitch. Freshly cut sod provides an instant root system to bind the earth together. Once established, this green canopy acts as a highly effective natural insulator. Inside the main cabin, careful joinery secures a geometric window frame, framing the stream below while letting in morning light. Down at the water's edge, surplus wood finds a secondary purpose. Stave construction relies on perfectly angled cuts. As the wooden pieces absorb water, they swell against each other, creating a naturally watertight vessel. The stream itself is the next major engineering target. Moving massive, waterlogged boulders by hand is brutal, methodical work. Repositioning these stones alters the flow of the river, deepening the channel and creating calm, controlled pools. This aquatic manipulation turns a chaotic rush of water into a reliable resource for irrigation and fishing. To fully manage the water level, a semi-permeable dam is required. Vertical bamboo posts are driven deep into the riverbed mud, acting as the structural spine of the barrier. A heavy branch serves as a makeshift mallet, sinking the posts past the loose sediment and into the hard clay beneath. Lashing horizontal poles across this row creates a resilient wall that slows the current without entirely blocking the ecosystem's natural flow. With the main barrier established, the builder creates a designated spillway. By carving and installing hollowed-out bamboo pipes, he directs a concentrated flow of fresh water into the lower catch pools. This elevation drop oxygenates the water and provides a clean, easily accessible point for washing and drawing water, independent of the muddy riverbed below. Moving upstream, another vulnerable bank requires heavy fortification. Leveraging massive stones into a locking pattern builds a gravity wall that will withstand seasonal flooding. Packing the crevasses with dense earth prevents rushing water from scouring out the smaller foundational stones. Nearby, a stout A-frame structure rises on an elevated stone plinth. The steep pitch of the timber framing ensures heavy debris and intense rainfall will shed quickly, protecting whatever is stored inside. Mortise and tenon joints, locked tight with wooden pegs, give the frame tremendous lateral strength. Like the hillside bunker, this A-frame receives a living roof. The waterproof membrane shields the heavy timber below, while the thick layer of damp soil provides immense downward pressure, rooting the entire structure firmly to its stone foundation. Watering the fresh sod immediately encourages the roots to mesh, stabilizing the steep slopes against wind and runoff. Down in the lower shelter, an interior enclosure takes shape. Stacking solid log rounds creates a heavily insulated perimeter wall, ideal for sheltering livestock. A thick paste of clay and mud acts as the mortar. When this earthen mix cures, it hardens into a solid, draft-proof seal that regulates the temperature inside. The massive thermal weight of the wood and mud absorbs ambient heat during the day and slowly radiates it back out through the cold night. stripping the bark off fresh timber is crucial for long-term durability. Bark traps moisture and invites rot. Exposing the smooth sapwood allows the log to dry evenly. Using a wide chisel and a heavy wooden mallet, the builder carves deep saddle notches into the ends of each beam. These interlocking joints allow the heavy logs to sit flush against one another, transferring weight directly downward without the need for vulnerable hardware. Expanding the living space out over the water requires a raised platform. Wooden posts driven into the pond bed support a cantilevered deck frame. Because the base is submerged, he uses rot-resistant timber, pinning the joints tight with driven wooden dowels. The floorboards are pinned down to create a stable, level surface over the unpredictable water level. A sturdy wooden railing encloses the perimeter, tying the open deck back into the visual language of the main cabin. To connect the various zones of the homestead, a shaded walkway is constructed. Thin, flexible bamboo poles are bent under high tension to form a series of perfect arches. The natural elasticity of the bamboo creates a rigid structural curve once tied down. Lashing a grid of smaller crosspieces along the sides provides a sturdy trellis for climbing vines. In a few months, the growing foliage will completely swallow this frame, creating a living tunnel that shades the garden path from the harsh midday sun. Harnessing the kinetic energy of the stream is the next leap in the homestead's evolution. The heavy wooden water wheel is mounted on a friction-bearing axle over a narrow choke point in the river. As the diverted water rushes through the bamboo flume, it strikes the flat paddles of the wheel, converting the raw flow of the creek into steady, continuous rotational power. Now, that mechanical rotation drives a small, concealed generator. Routing insulated copper wire up into the cabin's rafters completes the circuit. This simple micro-hydro setup provides just enough reliable wattage to run a single overhead bulb, pushing back the dark of the jungle night. High on the hillside, a final heavy timber structure requires a massive ridge beam. Using a broad chisel, he hollows out a deep channel in the primary log. This deep groove will cup the top edge of the roof panels, sealing the vulnerable peak from driving rain. Seating this heavy beam high atop the vertical posts locks the entire framework into its final, rigid posture. Bamboo, split in half lengthwise, provides a lightweight, highly effective roofing material. By arranging the hollowed halves in an overlapping, alternating pattern, one concave up, the next convex down, he creates a natural corrugated surface. This interlocking system acts like a series of continuous gutters, rapidly shedding heavy monsoon water down the pitch of the roof while allowing hot air to escape through the gaps beneath the eaves. A small, dedicated bamboo hut completes the hillside perimeter. By sinking the floor frame slightly into a dug trench, the low-profile structure hugs the earth, minimizing wind resistance. In the end, structure, landscape, and daily routine operate as one continuous system. What was a raw jungle ravine is now a fully realized homestead, a place that produces, protects, and sustains itself.